An X post by James Lindsay. Understanding the mass line. The mass line was a political campaign style developed and used by Mao Zedong and the CCP in the People's Republic of China. It's a very common method for doing agitation and propaganda, as well as for driving radicalization ever since. The name mass line suggests two possible meanings, and as it happens, the technique uses both. One is that the mass line is the line that the masses are taking, and the other is that it's the line being fed to the masses. Here's how it works. The mass line begins by being extracted from the masses. Issues that are likely to agitate or incite them are determined by the propaganda office. The issues should be ones that are likely to invoke mass mobilization campaigns, tapping a lot of negative or sometimes positive emotions. For example, frustration, anger, fear, despair, or hope and enthusiasm. These issues are then studied by the propaganda office to determine how they can be packaged or codified in terms of the party's interests, ambitions, and interpretive frame. These reframed inciting issues are then fed back to the masses in a mass line campaign, which runs reflexively to make it seem like it's the current issue everyone is talking about and mobilizing around. The emotion under the mass line as it was extracted gets channeled into the mass line campaign as it benefits the party. For example, the masses could be angry and frustrated that rents are too high and housing is unaffordable. The party would then recognize this reservoir of resentment in the people and would codify it by deciding it is caused by the landlords being too greedy and selfish. They would then feed this interpretation of the issue in a big scale campaign back to the people with the goal of inciting and mobilizing them all at once. Rents are too high because we have too many landlords who are greedy. The party will likely also package in a predetermined solution pathway into the mass line because the point is often to get the people to demand the thing the party wants to do. They might add, "We need rent controls," or "We need state ownership of apartments." The mass line is then pushed with a vigorous campaign that makes it feel like the most important issue everyone is talking about, and one that has to be solved now, usually according to the line provided by the party. The masses are thereby mobilized to protest and demand what the party wanted in the first place. Their energy, which might be quite legitimate, is co-opted to the party's agenda. That's how the mass line works. Be on the lookout. We see them everywhere now. P.S. For those who followed my explanations of Paulo Freire's critical pedagogy, this is the same methodology applied to education as Paulo Freire himself explains in The Pedagogy of the Oppressed. Gathering the mass line is finding the generative themes, which the educator then codifies and delivers back to the students in a decodification that interprets their circumstances for them to awaken critical consciousness and to inspire radical activism.